Hi, I'm Dr. Chi Love. I'm one of the first licensed acupuncturists in the state of Florida. I've been practicing acupuncture for over 33 years. I'm a doctor of Oriental medicine. I am one of the first non-Chinese Qigong masters in the United States. And I'm a radio talk show host for more than 12 years. You're going to learn 7 tools for transformation. We're going to apply these tools to exercise motivation. And as a Qigong master, I'm going to teach you how to circulate the Qi and increase your blood flow and reverse health conditions. You're going to learn how to dance your way to health. We're going to look at Asian sexual wisdom. And that's what I call emotional sex therapy. You're going to learn how to create a healthy lifestyle using these same 7 tools. We're going to be pushing negativity away from us. And what we're going to do is we're going to step into horse stance. So your feet are going to be wider than your shoulders. You're going to sit down. You're going to open your knees up. You're going to roll your pelvis forward, and you're going to sit down. And now you're going to make fists. You're going to put your hands. The right hand is going to come across, and at the last second, it's going to punch. And your shoulders are going to be perpendicular to your waist. So as this hand comes back, it's going to drive the other shoulder forward, and then you're the punch. Okay? So I'm going to do it so you can see it from this side. So this hand is going to come up, and then it's going to snap the punch. And my shoulders are perpendicular to my waist. So as this shoulder comes back, it automatically drives the other shoulder forward to punch. Okay? Now we're going to do that 16 times. Okay, so you're going to punch, and as you come back, you're going to snap the punch to the other side. Okay? So you're going to punch, and then as you come back, you're going to punch to the other side. Now, only the upper body moves. Okay? So these are your shoulders. I want your feet wider than your shoulders. It's wider. Wider. Okay, toes pointed. That's perfect. Now sit. Sit. That's it. There you go. Okay, bend your knees. Okay, bend your knees. You're righty or lefty. Punch it like you mean it. Aha! Okay, now, but I want you to follow through. You can sit up. Follow through. There you go. Follow through. That's it. Excellent. Very good. Excellent. All right, there. Righty? Okay. Now the other side. Okay, now, keep practicing. I don't want you to lift your hand up. Okay? I want you to come from underneath. Okay? I want you to come from underneath. Okay? Now, what's happening is your heart meridian, okay? Little finger through the armpit, okay? So we're punching away anger, frustration, resentment, shame, blame, guilt, depression, sadness, loneliness, grief, okay? Keep punching till you get rid of all of it. So there's no more abandonment, rejection, or betrayal, or abuse left. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, to the side, to the side. Okay, don't move the waist, don't move the waist, but turn the shoulders. No.
You want me to turn this?
That's right. Okay, now punch. Like you mean it, like you mean it. You cannot hurt me. You cannot. That's good. Now like you're
really
mad.
kind of tough.
Now like you're mad at me. Now, come on, like you're mad at me. See, you weren't looking at my hand, you were looking at me. That's better. You cannot hurt me. I am Qigong master. You cannot hurt me.
I do Wing Chun.
Do Wing Chun? Yeah. Okay, show me some Wing Chun. Okay, now what she did is she pulled the punch. She didn't follow through.
That's what my Wing Chun master tells me.
Sit. Okay, now, this is emotional. This is emotional. Okay? Now, you're coming from here to there. Here to there. Okay? Now, when your heart has been broken, has been wounded, has been hurt, what do? Physiology, you contract, right? You literally close yourself up, right? So I had this pain, she broke my heart, I never want to experience that again, so I'm going to cover it over, I'm going to staple it, I'm going to put some boards on it, I'm going to nail that down, then I'm going to get some bricks, and then put cement on it, I'm going to cover that, and I'm never going to be hurt again. Right? Is that how everybody feels? Mm-hmm. Now, what is the problem with that? Is if you protect your heart from being hurt, no love can get in. Right? So you have to be vulnerable. You have to open your heart in order to get the good along with the bad. Okay? There has to be that possibility that you could get hurt. But if you're strong and you're confident and your chi is flowing, you're not going to get hurt. Because you're only going to be a magnetic attractor to people who want to match your energy. Right? If you're needy, what are you going to attract?
Needy person.
Exactly. So you're going to attract who you are. So if you're strong and confident and your heart is open, you're going to attract strong, confident people whose hearts are open. That's only logical. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
So now, let's try it again. Wing Chun lady?
When they're up here, you know.
No. They're down here. The punch is coming from down. Okay? Punch up. Yeah. Now, when you punch and you turn, when this comes back, this one is automatically driving the other way. Okay? So you're like that kid's toy that has the drum with the stick on it, and it goes blup, 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 blup. You remember that kid's toy? Okay. So let's try this again. Okay? We're going to do 16 times. Right hand punch into the left, non-stop, and see the face of the person you're angry at. Who broke your heart. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay? Yes, I like it. Okay, now we're going to do the opposite of that. Now we're going to pull in joy and peace and love and happiness and serenity and goodness. Now the way we're going to do that is we're going to thrust out. So right hand is going to thrust with the palm facing out. Okay? And now you're going to articulate each finger as you turn the hand over. And now pull. Pull. Okay, see how easy that was? Okay? Now we're going to do it again, only you're not going to turn your hand. Okay? Now grab my jacket again. And now just pull from that position. Okay? Now grab it again. Now turn your hand over. Yeah. See the difference? All she did was turn her wrist. Now when she turned her wrist, her elbow went from up to down. Now, if her waist is here, and she has me, and now that means she can turn her waist all the way back there. You see that radius? Okay, she's got about a 4-foot radius of turning with that pull. Where if she just tried to pull like this, she has limited movement. Okay? Now, the heart in acupuncture meridian is the center of the armpit, and it goes down in line with the little finger. So the thrust automatically opens up the heart. And then there are 3 acupuncture points here, heart 7, 8, and 9. And so when she turns the wrist over, she's activating those points. Now one of those points is called Shen Men, which is the spirit gate, which then opens the heart. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab and I'm going to pull. Okay, so I'm going to grab, I'm going to turn, and then I'm going to pull. And see my waist, I have this amount of movement in my waist. Okay? Now, sit down. Don't move your waist. Now you try. Okay? So now from here to here, that's about 3-4 feet. All right? So I weigh 195 pounds. How much do you weigh?
Too fat.
I see why you love this. So if I sink my chi, I have more power than if I stand up straight. Okay? He can just push me, and I'm going to go backwards. Okay? But if I sink my chi and he tries to push me, he can't do it because I'm gonna move. Okay? He won't be able to push me down. All right? So the point of this is to develop confidence. So when your heart is strong, you have confidence. That's what courage means. Cour is a French word which means heart. So courage, to develop the heart. So that's why this particular exercise, grab, articulate, pull. Grab, articulate each finger, turn the wrist over, and pull. You have to turn your waist. You have to turn your wrist. You have to articulate and turn and then pull. Okay? So thrust, turn, and pull. Now, what are we pulling? Happiness and joy and peace and tranquility and serenity and goodness and beauty and truth. Okay? So we ready? Are we ready? We are ready. Okay. So right hand to the left. Beauty, truth, abundance, joy, serenity, tranquility, quiescence, happiness, abundance, love. Now, the third part is we're going to open the heart. Okay? So what you're going to do, again, this is called eagle claw. You're going to grab, you're going to articulate, and then you're going to bend your knees. Sink your chi. Get as low as you can. Okay. How's your chest feel?
Opening.
Feels like it's opening. How's your chest feel?
Sore.
Sore. How's your chest feel?
Joyful.
Joyful. How's your heart feel?
My back is more straight.
Back is more straight. Okay. How's your chest feel?
Active.
Active. Okay. In the back? How's your chest?
Expanded.
Open.
Expanded and open. Okay. So now, when your heart is open, guess what happens to your life?
All good things.
All good things come in. Okay? So what if you could open your heart every single day? Okay? Now, how long have you been married?
25 years.
25 years. You have any girlfriends on the side? Now, I can joke with him. I never met him before. I can joke with him because his heart is already open. When he walked in the door and sat down and said, that's my guy. His heart's open. His heart is open to everyone. He loves you madly. His heart is open to everyone. How many people are attached to one person and won't look at anybody else or give them any kind of rhythm or joyfulness at all? Is that most people? Okay. Now, I can be in love with her and still love everybody else. Is that a possibility?
Yes.
Does that make you attractive? Does that make you sexy?
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right? So that's what I want to teach you, is how to create that joyfulness and then happiness that makes you sexy, that makes people want you all the time. All the time. Okay? That's what you want to have. Okay? Now, there's something that I teach called 3 treasures. Okay? Now, the first treasure is Jing. Okay? Now, Jing is the energy that circulates in the basement. Okay? Now, the belly button, when you stick your finger in your belly button, does it hurt?
No.
Yeah, it does hurt. When you stick your finger in your belly button, it does hurt. Okay. Now, it hurts because the pyloric valve, which is the bottom of the stomach, is right there. And the common bile duct from the liver and the spleen go right through behind the belly button. And the duodenum, which is the first section of the small intestines, is right below the belly button. So those three things all meet right there. That's why it hurts. Now, your belly button is your connection to your mother, which is connected to her mother, which is connected to her mother, back 4 million years. If your DNA is 4 million years old, do you think you know everything there is to know about humans? How could you possibly access 4 million years of knowledge? She woke up. She said, press on your belly button. The answer is floating somewhere. Somebody knows the answer. Meditation. So meditation is the way you access the energy, access the historical record, what we call the Akashic record, that is already there. You already have the knowledge. But how many people meditate 20 minutes twice a day? How many people meditate an hour once a day? How many people meditate 3 times a week? So the trick is, if you meditate, then you can tune in to the mysteries that are eluding you. Okay? Now, we have a brainwave frequency. We call that the waking state, or beta. Then when we get relaxed and we're getting ready for bed, then we drop down into alpha, which is the hypnotic state. And then from alpha, we drop down into theta, which is what we call the sleep or the creative state. And then we drop down into delta, which is the deep sleep. And then when we come out of that, we go from delta back into theta, which is the healing state. And then from theta, we then go back into alpha, which is the dream state. And that's what you drift in and out of before you actually wake up. And then, boop, you're awake and you're getting on with your life, okay? So beta, alpha, theta, delta, theta, alpha, beta. So we go in and out. Now what happens when you daydream? You daydream, don't you?
Yes.
Okay. So when you daydream, you go into alpha. And you say, yeah, I've got a great idea. Let me go do blah, blah, blah. Yes? Does that happen? Once a day? Twice a day? All the time!
Where does gamma come in with all this? Or does
Oh, gamma's like from outer space. That's alien technology. So if that's happening all the time, then our brainwave patterns, our brainwave frequencies are always shifting. Now when your brainwave pattern shifts, we can shift into negative or we can shift into positive. Which one do you want to shift into? Everybody wants to be positive, okay? But most people are negative because of social conditioning, okay? The smart remark, the one-upsmanship, the one-liner, the zinger, the put-down. We're socially conditioned to like get that little jab in, get that little smart remark in, instead of just being loving. Okay? Now, we all know the guy who's the tool. We all know the person who's the smart ass. Do we really enjoy those people?
No.
We don't. And yet, if we think we can get away with it, we do exactly what they do. And that level of negativity keeps your heart closed. Okay? Now, if somebody steps on my foot and I'm not in excruciating pain, I'm going to say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get in your way. I'm not even going to trip on it for 1 second because people are basically unconscious. And they're like so into themselves, they're like this. They're robots. Okay?
Yes.
Right now, what if you were married to a robot?
Oh, yes.
Ooh. Okay. So, how do you help somebody who's in a robot? Who is a robot? You have to work on your consciousness. And the more you become conscious of you, then automatically your energy field is going to shift them. And they're either going to say, you know, I don't like the way you're changing, so I'm leaving. They're going to say, bye-bye. Or they're going to start paying attention. Exactly, good riddance, okay? So, my job here is to get you to shift into your heart, shift into higher consciousness, okay? Now, there's 4 reasons for having sex. What's the first reason? Love. That is the only reason. Okay. But what do other people say? I told you she was the smartest woman in the room. Okay. Children, procreation. That's one reason. But every time you have sex, you don't have a baby. So there's got to be another reason, right? How many children do you have?
2.
2? And where are they now?
Here.
Here?
College and high school.
College and high school, okay.
Pleasure.
Pleasure, okay. That's what we call recreational sex. Recreating the Holy Spirit that created you, okay? So, the energy that your mother and father had at the moment of your creation is still mystically stored inside your kidneys, okay? Now, can you access that at will? If you knew how, you could, right? Would you like me to teach you that?
Yeah.
Okay. So we can access that ancestral energy instantaneously.
But what's the point to access it?
What is the point? What if you had a really long day? What if you were really tired? What if you had an obligation and you just say, I don't feel it? But I made a commitment to my boss, my mother, my job, my boyfriend. I gotta go pick up my dog at the vet. That is the point of accessing that. Now, you can deplete the ancestral energy. You can stay up 5 nights in a row with no sleep. And you can deplete the ancestral energy. Okay? Now, if you're running a marathon, if you're training for something, if you're driving cross country, if you have a project that has a 36-hour deadline, and there's no time for sleep, you could access your ancestral energy to complete that project. But at some point, you may deplete that. So my job is to tell you, A, how to access it, B, how not to deplete it, and C, how to fill it back up.
Is the highest, I guess, point what is available to us.
Exactly. That was like, that's the Big Bang. You all heard of the Big Bang Theory? The universe was created with a Big Bang. That's your universe. That was your Big Bang that created you.
Question.
Uh-huh.
I suppose you don't help you with the energy of your mother and your father.
Ooh.
I suppose.
Let's
I
suppose.
suppose you think you really think that this is the highest level of your life. And then what? Does that be basically determines your
Okay,
conception?
I'm glad you asked me that question.
Yeah.
This is a very important point. Okay, let's say that this lady was firstborn child of an Olympic swimmer, mother, and a tennis champion father. Okay? And let's say that this lady over here was the 5th born child of a drug addict mother and an alcoholic father. Okay? So which one is going to have the strongest ancestral energy? The firstborn. Absolutely. Okay? So the person who's the 5th born of such poor genetic pools, okay, they can eat sprout sandwiches, live in the gym, and they're always going to look like death warmed over. So for those people, food plus herbs plus breathing plus meditation plus Qigong will maintain their energetic integrity, even though they didn't have strong ancestral energy. Now this lady could eat crap, sleep in the woods, you know, eat and drink, whatever, and she'll always look like $1 million. But at some point, she will deplete. And then she's going to look like, what's the guy?
Richards.
The guy in the basement whose painting is in the basement, and the painting ages and the person never does.
Oh, Dorian Gray.
Dorian Gray. Okay? That's what happens to that person. Okay? So now, if you're not happy with the ancestral energy that you receive, you have to do Qigong. You have to learn this. You have to learn how to get chi from food. You have to learn how to move the chi through your liver to give you a happy appearance. Okay? Because happiness and sex kind of go together. Bitterness and then sex, they don't go, right? Question?
How is it basically best to visualize this ancestral energy you're talking about as some type of a light or some type of an electric potential?
A reservoir.
A spiritual a reservoir of what?
Okay. A reservoir is a pool. Typically it's a pool of water. But in your case, it's a pool of energy. Okay? And you can tap into that pool of energy and you can take water out. There's some children who get sick frequently and some kids who never get sick. Okay? That's ancestral energy. So the ancestral energy is mystically stored in your kidneys. Okay? And there's this pool. So imagine there's 2 cups of chi. Okay? Now, did you ever do hard physical labor? Did you have like mop floors or chop sugar cane or pick cotton or climb trees? No, of course not. Mop floors, okay. Have you done any physical labor where you were like exhausted at the end of the day? Okay. Now, when you go to sleep, the next morning, how do you feel? Okay, so that freshness that you feel was the restoration of your ancestral energy. Sleep is a type of food. 1 hour of meditation is equal to 4 hours of sleep. So if you do 2 hours of meditation a day, you basically don't need to sleep. Okay? Now, how can I say that? Because when you meditate, you can drop yourself into alpha, theta, and delta. You can teach yourself how to do that and then come back out. Okay? And in 2 hours of meditation, if you do that consistently, you'll learn how to go right into delta and then come back into alpha. Okay? So I literally have gone 25 years with 3.5 hours sleep. Okay? I'm going to be 64 in 2 weeks, and I have more energy than any 2 30-year-olds. Okay? That's how strong my chi is. Okay? And I do it every single day. Okay? So what I want to do is teach you the secrets that I've learned from the Taoist masters. Okay? Now, when you have sex, how does the blood get to where you want it to go to? Focus. Okay? Or touch. Right? If I touch a certain body part, the blood's going to go there. If I touch his shoulder, the blood's going to go to his shoulder. If I touch his face, the blood's going to go to his face. If I rub his tummy, the blood's going to go to his tummy. So wherever you touch, that's where the blood's going to go. Is that easy? Yes. Yeah, that's easy. That's not in any book. That's not in any book. Okay? Now, I mean, there's hundreds of sex manuals. None of them tell you how to touch. They don't tell you that there's chi that comes out of your fingertips. They don't tell you how you can rub your hands together and increase the electromagnetic energy coming out of your fingertips. They don't tell you that there's a connection from the center of your spine to the center of your heart. Okay? So you can take the heart energy and push it down to the basement. Or you could take it from the basement, push it up to the heart, and then down the arm, and out the palm, and out the 4 fingers. Whoa! Okay? Now, this man has beautiful ears. Okay? If he was not looking at my ugly face, if there was some beautiful woman standing in front of him rubbing his ears, guess what would happen? All the blood would go to his ears. Now, there's a point right in here that is the basement. And if I was a beautiful woman and I started rubbing his ears right there, the blood would shoot right down there. Okay? Now, this is an ear chart. I don't know if you can get a close-up of that. The triangular fossa. This is the pelvic cavity. Okay? So this point right here, this little part of your ear, is the pelvic cavity. Right there.
The top or the under?
The top. There's a little depression in the top of your ear. This is the pelvic cavity. Okay? Now, erogenous zones, some people love to have their ears touched. Some people hate to have their ears touched. Alright? But if you knew what you were doing with Qigong, and you rubbed your hands together and you warmed your hands and you knew exactly where you were touching, you could stimulate blood flow to the basement. Whoa! They never put that in any sex manual. Okay? Now, there's a point for the mouth. Lips, mouth. Okay? Now, if I stick my finger in here, does that feel good? Yeah, she doesn't want to admit it, but yes, it feels good. See the blood going right to her lips. Okay, so if I know how to touch, and I know where to touch, I can literally put Qi into my hands and touch somebody's ears ever so lightly that they don't even know that I'm seducing them. They have no clue whatsoever that I'm sending blood to certain parts of their body. Is that a secret that you'd like to know? Yeah, okay. So, if I can touch your ear and change the way blood flows in your body, it's just your ear. All the blood in your body goes through your ear every hour. The blood is closest to the surface of the body in the ear. So if I just do this, English is not good. But you see her face is getting red. Okay? So the secret is underneath. Okay? So while you see the guy touching the knuckles, underneath he's doing this. And that's connected right to the heart. Okay? So again, it's a secret. Okay? Has anybody ever scratched your palm? Yes. Did they do it intentionally?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Okay. And you knew what they wanted when they did it?
Yes.
You did. Okay. So, if that is one way of connecting heart to heart, through the hands, okay? Handshake connects heart to heart. A hug connects heart to heart. A pat on the back. The scapula is the shoulder blade. The heart is connected right underneath the shoulder blade. So if I just pat on the back, I'm connecting heart to heart. Wow. Now, what if I was chilly and my hands were ice cold and I just came in from outside and I was annoyed about something and I gave somebody a hug and patted them on the back? How would they feel? Get away from me, right? How many people do you know that you don't want them to touch you? That you don't want them to hug you? And you'd be like, get away, right? We know a bunch of people like that, right? Now, our objective is to be so positive and so heart open that you shift other people without touching them. Oh, how'd you do that? How can I shift people without even touching them? Okay? Now, if you open up your energy field, okay, this is called microcosmic orbit. It looks like you're jumping rope in slow motion. Okay? You can take your heels off. Okay, so you're going to bend your knees. You're going to push your anal sphincter out. Okay? So So you're going to bend your knees, you're going to push your anal sphincter out, you're going to pull your hands back, you're going to tighten your anal sphincter. Now you're going to lift your heels, you're going to pull the chi up the center of the spine over the top of the head. Now you're going to lower the heel, relax the anal sphincter, and now pull the chi down the front, just below the belly button. You're going to breathe out, push the anal sphincter out, pull the hands back, tighten the anal sphincter, lift the heels, pull the chi up the center of the spine over the top of the head, and now lower the heel and pull the chi down the midline. One more time. Breathe out, push the anal sphincter out, pull the hands back, tighten the anal sphincter, lift the heels, pull the hands, pull the chi up, lower the heel, relax the anal sphincter. Okay. Perineum is the center of a nerve plexus that feeds the ovaries, the uterus, the vagina, the bladder, the testicles, all the internal organs. That nerve plexus is connected to something called the vagus nerve, which runs up your spine, which connects to your pineal gland. And why do they call it the vagus nerve? Because they have the vaguest idea of how it works. And it's also connected to the heart, the lungs, 3 places in the gut, and the anus. Okay? So the vagus nerve is connected to the perineum. So by opening and closing your anal sphincter, you activate that nerve plexus that comes up the spine, connects to the pineal, which is at the base of the skull, which connects to the pituitary. Now when the pineal and the pituitary connect, what happens? Your crown chakra opens up and you connect directly to source. Does that make sense? Okay, who does not want to be connected to source? Okay, so if you're constantly connected to source, can you make a mistake? No, you can't make a mistake if you're connected to source. Okay, now, if I, do you mind? Okay, if I touch, I gotta turn you sideways. Okay. So if I turn the back of your head, okay, the bottom of the skull is called the occipital ridge. The soft tissue underneath that is called the occiput. On either side of the occiput, there's a soft spot. If I drilled my finger right inside there, I would touch the cerebellum. That hurts, yes. So the cerebellum is the base of the brain, which is the visual cortex of the brain. So every thought that she has creates a visual image inside her brain. Now, if your computer overheats, if your laptop overheats, the screen freezes. If your brain overheats, your memory freezes. Okay? Because you have too many visual images. You have too many windows open. Whoa! Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to massage, whoa, tight neck. Now I chose her because she's young. If I picked anybody older, they're already like this. So I picked a young person because I wanted to make sure that her neck was flexible, which it's not. Too young to have so many problems.
It's called life.
She's too young. Okay, now we said before the heart connected to the brain through the neck, right? So if the neck is tense, the blood and the chi can't get to the brain, yes? Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm plucking, this muscle is called the SCM, or the sternocleidomastoid muscle, okay? Now I'm playing her like a guitar. Look at her face. I can't see her face, but I know her face is changing colors. Am I right? Okay, you want to see what I'm doing? Okay. So I'm just doing this. That's all
You
I'm
could do
doing.
that to yourself, right? Can't you?
You can do that to yourself. You absolutely can do it to yourself. Okay? If we don't run out of time, I'll work on everybody in about 30 seconds.
Or the back, I think more of the back of her head than.
Now, I'm going to take her head backwards. Okay? She's giving me permission to do that. Okay? Now I'm going to take her head to the right. Now I'm going to take her head to the left. Okay. Now her head goes easier to the left than it goes to the right. Okay, so now I'm going to turn her chin to the right.
Oh, that's chiropractors do that. They know what they're doing. Yeah.
Chiropractors know what they're doing.
Are you doing the same way?
No, absolutely not. Okay, you have a brother? You have a sister? You're an only child? Hey.
They had to take her to take you off. They're doing that. She'd be stiff. Yeah.
Okay, now tell everybody how you feel. Move your shoulders around. It feels different. Okay? Now, a chiropractor will just do that. But I relaxed her first. I relaxed her shoulders first. Then I massaged the neck. And then I did the adjustment. Now, the chi is going to flow from here to here. It's going to completely open up. Okay? Now, look at her face. See that? You can tell the difference.
Yeah, she looks relaxed.
Okay? Because her face was very narrow and pinched before. Okay? She looks like a different person even. Okay? So this is what you can do yourself. Now, take your right hand and grab the muscles on the left side of your neck. And then take your left hand, grab the muscles on the right side of your neck. Okay? Now you can, so we do this 16 times. Okay? Okay, we got a smart guy who's going to do them both at the same time.
Yeah. You need to go like this.
You can do it. I'm not telling you you're wrong.
What about that doing it to get like this now?
Yes, you can do that. That's an advanced technique. You're a massage therapist?
No.
No? Okay, everybody wants to get fancy. Let's get the basics down, and then you can get
You don't have
fancy.
to do it 6
Yes, you have to do it 16 times. That's an ancient Chinese secret. 16 is the magic number. Now, everybody knows what turkey neck is, right? And everybody knows what laugh lines are. If you want to avoid laugh lines in turkey neck, you're going to do this one 16 times. Every single day. Okay? Now, she's got an overbite. You got an overbite. He's got an overbite. Come on. Yep. Everybody's got an overbite. Now, an overbite is when the upper teeth extend past the lower teeth. Now, the reason that is because your jaw is jammed up. Okay? And if your jaw is jammed up, okay, so if the jaw is jammed up, yeah, that hurts. Yeah, that hurts right there. That's been bugging him for the last 2 weeks. Okay. So it hurts on both sides. Okay. Now, open your mouth slowly. Okay. Let's turn sideways. Okay. Focus slowly. Okay. Now it hurts more on the left or on the right? More on the left. Now I can actually feel where his pain is because the muscle is tenser on that side. Okay? Now, if your jaw is tense, what does that say about you?
I don't want to talk to you.
Okay, so that means I'm suppressing my anger by grinding my teeth. Do you grind your teeth at night? No? You grind your teeth at night? You don't think so? Sometimes. I think whenever you have a problem that you can't resolve, you chew it at night. I think everybody chews their problems at night. Alright? And when you grind your teeth, then that jaw gets jammed up. And when your jaw gets jammed up, it causes headaches and sinus problems. Okay? That causes headaches and sinus problems. Ooh. Yeah.
That's also the TMJ.
That's also the TMJ. That's exactly the TMJ. That's exactly the TMJ. Yeah. Now, you want to learn how to get rid of it? 1, 2, 3? Okay, so now you've plucked 16 times. Now you're going to click your teeth 32 times. I'm a little fast. Okay? Because I do this all the time. So I hit the 32 before you do. Okay, now you're going to open your jaw slightly. You're going to put your index finger underneath your ear behind your jaw. So you have to open the jaw and then you can stick your index finger in. And now your middle finger is going to go next to the flap. That's called the tragus. And now you're going to, with the jaw open and your fingers pushed in, you're going to rotate your jaw 8 times to the right. And now you're going to reverse 8 times to the left. But yeah, in a circle. Now some of you are doing this. You're not making a full circle. Okay, and some of you are doing this.
But is it a circle this way or this way?
It's a circle this way. Down, up, and then you have to reverse it. So now, if I went around individually and took pictures, I would be able to show you what you're doing wrong. So that means you're not chewing properly. And this muscle is the swallowing muscle. So if it hurts when you pluck your neck, you're not swallowing properly. Okay? I translate essence as hormones. Okay? So your hormones create your sex drive. Does that make sense? Your hormones are high? Okay? What age